what's the best way to fish a wacky rig? I got a lot of friends that don't even know what a wacky rig is. I have to explain it, it seems like constantly. They sit there and say they have trouble fishing. I'm like, hey, you ever tried the wacky rig? And they're like, wacky rig, what the hell are you talking about? But the best way to fish a wacky rig, I've been really putting in there, kind of discovered a couple years back, and it really is one of those things where you can't get a bite. They seem to kind of pull them out of the weeds. But the best way, I think, is one, I think probably go with a more salted stick bait. And again, if you don't know what a wacky rig is, it's just a stick bait rigged right through the middle. People use different types of hooks. You can use an AOG, like a heavier hook. I usually use like a 6 cents wacky rig hook, kind of, or even like a owner mosquito wire hook, like the thinner ones, because you seem like you got a better hookup rate. But yeah, I'd go with a heavier salted worm. That's going to give you a little bit more weight, going to make it a little easier to cast. It's going to let it sink a little faster, because most people's problem with wacky rigs is patience, being impatient. And wacky rig is one of those things that takes a little patience. Anyway, so get a heavier salted worm. Gary Yamamoto works great. There are some other ones on the market. And rig it right through the middle. You can get the little O-ring kits from Walmart for like, $4 or $5. Rig it right through there sideways. You can either come through the middle if you're not using a ring, or sideways if you're parallel with it if you're trying to use an O-ring. And then just throw it out there. And usually my thing is treat it like if you're fishing off the bottom with a worm. Throw it out there and forget about it for a minute. Let it sink. Just kind of sit there and just let it go. Let it do its thing. Give it after you think it's kind of hit the bottom, give it a pop, and then let it sink again. And then give it another pop, let it sink again. If they haven't hit it by then, they're probably not going to hit it. Pull it out, try a different spot. You can cover water with it and just kind of, like I said, throw it in, let it sink, pop, let it sink again. Whatever you think it is, just what I usually do, if whatever you think is long enough, give it a little bit longer. And then a couple times, if they haven't hit it, pull it out, throw it again. That's usually how it works, man. You can really test water to see how the fish are there. It's one of those lures that, if you're not sure if there's anything in the water, that'll pull them out of there. And if you're going for a color, if you could choose one color, I know a lot of people go with the green pumpkin with the black specks, but for me, the June bug color, I think they call it like a purple teal in the Gary Yamamoto, but the June bug color seems to pull them no matter if I'm in dirty or clear water. But that's a little tip, man. If you're looking to try to get started on wacky rig, I think it's a great beginner bait. If you're looking for the best, beginner to kind of get out there and kind of get somebody going, get them some bites. For those guys that are like, oh, I hate bass fish, I'll never catch anything, throw a wacky rig on there. I bet you'll pull them something. All right, hope that helps. Until next time.